What's hotter than hot? A kitchen in the middle of July. The outside temperatures are soaring, so to keep the inside from getting any hotter, we're making recipes that don't require any heat. It's too hot to even think about turning on the oven or standing by the stove. So today we're staying cool in the kitchen with a cucumber avocado soup, my favorite chopped salad, and a delicious watermelon granita. It's possible to make cooling meals that'll keep you full all summer long without breaking a sweat. So what do you say we not turn on the oven or the stove and get cooking? Is it cooking if there's no heat?
Life can be a struggle, but a good meal doesn't have to be. We can make creative, nutritious, and inventive dishes that won't break the bank. We'll eat well and save money, because that's what we do. Welcome to Struggle Meals.
It's hot out, and I am sweating. So the last thing I want to do is turn up the fire on the stove or crank on the oven. I need something cooling. So I think we should make a soup. And I know what you're thinking. Frankie, soup is hot. To which I say, not always, and not today. Let me show you how to make a nice, cool cucumber soup. We start with cucumbers. We want to peel the skin off the cucumber because we want to get to the essence of the cucumber. That was very satisfying, I have to say. I can't think of a more cooling ingredient. Cucumbers are full of water, so they're extremely cooling and highly hydrating. Basically, just try to chop these up into pieces that the blender can handle. We're not cooking with heat, so the main tool today is the blender. All right, cucumbers are going in. I picked up this blender at a garage sale, and you know what? It's coming in really handy right now. Depending on the size of your blender, you might have to do this in 2 batches. Mine's a little small. I'm gonna chop up some chives here, because if you don't have a super powerful blender, this really helps. Jalapenos. So I'm roughly chopping up my jalapenos, and I'm gonna leave the seeds and veins in there because I want that spice. I got a whole bunch of cilantro here. I'm gonna literally roll this up into a ball and run my knife through it. So we've got parsley, and that's that. Let's do half of each. Parsley, cilantro. Cool, and I've got another pile for my next batch. Got some scallions. Cool, we'll get half of that. And finally, I'm gonna put one of these avocados. This is pretty soft, so I can just squeeze it right in, and that's what I'm gonna do. Beautiful. Let's blend it up. So now that I've made a little more room in the blender, I'm gonna add the rest of my ingredients. We're gonna come in with some Greek yogurt, and this is going to really accentuate that cooling vibe. And we're gonna come in with some lemon. So lemon is gonna make sure that nothing oxidizes and we have that gorgeous green color, but it also is gonna balance out the fattiness from that yogurt. All right, let's blend it. So now you should definitely taste it before you serve it in the bowl. Add some salt and pepper, a little more lemon if necessary. And we are just about done. We can serve it right into a bowl, or we can chill it for an even more cooling effect. All right, got this really awesome looking, gorgeous color here. So the soup itself should be creamy and smooth, but we're gonna put some toppings on it, which is gonna give us some textural variance. Gonna hit it with some avocado. I like to put some ingredients in the chunky state on the soup so you can see what's on the inside. Come in with some cooling radishes. And we'll hit it with some cilantro leaves. The color of the soup looks fantastic. The toppings make it pop even more. It looks great. It's $2.06 a serving. So what do you say we cool off this heat wave and dig in? All right. Woo! Yum. It's creamy, it's cooling, it's spicy. It's a complete meal that doesn't weigh you down. It's so refreshing, it'll keep you cool all summer long. It's summer, and that means it's hot, and firing up that stove is only gonna make it hotter. Thanks to science and the very clever Peruvians, we can cook fish with no heat. Ceviche is a delicious dish, and it's made by immersing raw seafood into a citrus marinade. Yeah, it cooks. Originally from Peru and popular throughout Latin America, it's really easy to make. Let me show you how. Choose your fish. Traditionally, it's a firm white ocean fish like grouper, sole, halibut, or flounder. You could also try shrimp, scallops, or squid. Cut it into half-inch pieces for easy marinating. Then choose your flavors: garlic, onion, chili peppers, other aromatic herbs. You can be creative here. Choose your acid. Typically it's lime or lemon. This is what's gonna cook our fish. Add some salt and put it into the fridge to marinate for 15 to 45 minutes. Then keep an eye on it. And when the fish is milky white on the outside but still translucent on the inside, it's ready to go. Don't let it sit too long. It can actually get overcooked. Give it a final seasoning tweak and then serve it up with some tortilla chips. If you can't take the heat out of the kitchen. It's really hot outside and I want to eat something substantial, so I'm going to show you a great dish that won't heat up the kitchen. My absolute favorite, green goddess chopped salad. A creamy, herby, cooling dressing with all kinds of chopped ingredients. Highly customizable, very delicious. Let's start off by making this dressing. We're gonna use some sour cream. It's filling, it's got a nice amount of fat to it. Another great thing about using sour cream is we can make extra dressing and save it in our fridge because sour cream is already a curdled milk product. It'll hold for a week. We're gonna add mayonnaise. Lovely. Let's use the zest and juice of 2 lemons. Zest is going in. And we're also gonna juice our lemons. I will break apart the cell walls of the lemon, hold the cut side up to keep any seeds inside the lemon, like that. See how they stayed in? Pretty cool. The Struggle Seed Catcher built-in edition. Let's get some spiciness in the form of fresh garlic. Why not grate our garlic, do some work for the blender so we don't have any big chunks of garlic, right? Cool. Now we're gonna put a whole bunch of fresh herbs. I've got parsley and chives and basil, but you can really make this with whatever you've got. You got mint, that'll work great. Cilantro, no problem. All of it's gonna be great. Let's start by chopping up this parsley. Very nice. Some chives. Chives going in. And I'm just gonna pick my basil leaves off from the stem and we can just, all right, basil going in. We've got all of our fresh herbs here, so we're gonna hit it with salt. For just a little more zest, I think we should head into the package drawer and get some Dijon mustard. It is free flavor after all. All right, let's blend. That's looking really good. Let's taste it with a spoon and make sure all the seasonings are right. Mmm. Wow. Salty, tangy, and just a nice little finish of that sour cream with the raw garlic. That's delicious. We made a big batch of our dressing, so that means we get to save some for later. This salad dressing can live outside of the salad world. This would be great with some grilled meats or some grilled vegetables. This could be good on a sandwich. It's highly versatile and extremely delicious. Let's start chopping up our salad. We're gonna start off with some corn. Corn is just essential in the summertime. I love eating it raw. It's so naturally sweet. The texture's great. So we've got a salad bowl here. Corn's going in. When you're making a chopped salad, the most important thing is that you cut up all the veggies into roughly the same size pieces, which means it's a great opportunity to practice some knife skills. Okay, we've got some nice romaine lettuce here. It's got a beautiful watery crunch. We're gonna start at the leafy end here and try to get some nice strips. Go little bits like this, try to bring the whole thing together. All right, into the bowl. The romaine lettuce will stand up really well to our other chopped ingredients. Nice. We've got some celery stalks here. Really, you can customize this salad as you want, but as long as things are crunchy, I think they should go in there. Celery going in. Nice. We've got a cucumber here. It's cooling, it's full of water, it's crunchy. Cucumber's going in. Oh, I can smell the freshness. Cool. Now we're gonna dice up this tomato. Tomato going in. We're gonna come through our onion now. Same thing. Not today. Onion going in, quick, quick, quick. I'm gonna cry. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Let's just check in with ourselves, especially after this very emotional moment of cutting up the onion. I want you to see all the pieces that I've cut up are roughly the same size as each other, and that's really what we're going for here. We got some cheddar cheese here. We're gonna cube this up too. We're gonna try to make perfect squares. Look at that, cheese is going in. For our final ingredient, we've got a can of garbanzo beans. This is perfect to put on here. But you know what? Navy beans or red beans would work well too. Our salad's looking really awesome. All the pieces are cut to pretty uniform sizes. I like the color variants. Let's dress this up. We're gonna put our green goddess dressing on top. The flavors have had time to melt. It's gonna be even smoother and better. Got a nice amount of dressing for tomorrow. So let's get this in the fridge. Ideally, you have a salad bowl that leaves you a lot of room to toss everything together. But if you happen to make so much salad that it's to the top, the best way to dress it is to grab 2 utensils that are not too wide, go all the way to the bottom, and try to bring the ingredients up from the bottom and put them on top. All right, and just be very careful. Great, this looks awesome. Gonna serve this up. This is a salad, so you can eat it with a fork, but I really like eating it with tortilla chips. It looks crunchy, it looks fresh, and I know it's affordable at $2.21 a serving. Let's dig in. Coming in. Wow! First thing that happens is crunch everywhere. The chip, the lettuce, the onion, the corn. It's tangy, it's creamy, it's cooling, it's herbaceous. This is a filling and satisfying meal for a hot summer day. Up next, a struggle challenge, and then a really fun summer treat. Stay tuned. It's time for a struggle challenge. Let's see what you got for me today. Here we go. I don't dare turn on my stove or oven because it makes the entire apartment too hot. Then I'm melting for the rest of the night. Can you give me some ideas for what I can cook in a microwave in 30 minutes or less besides frozen dinners? Listen, I'll try my very, very best. Why don't we take a look and see what you've got? Wow, cool. So we got some tomatoes here, onion, tortillas, that's always a good thing. And this looks like ground beef. I'm definitely feeling the heat in here. I feel like we've got some really good starting ingredients. Not entirely sure what I'm gonna make yet, but I think if we head over to that pantry and that fridge, we can get a more complete picture. Enchilada sauce. I see some refried beans. What do we got in here? Sour cream. We got a jalapeno. All right. We got cheese, we got cilantro, we got limes. So, definitely gonna go in a Mexican-inspired direction right now. Not making anything traditional, but I got a lot of really good ingredients here that I feel like I could make something tasty with in a microwave. Let's get started. We've got a nice, wide, microwavable plate here, which means maximum surface area for our beef, which is one of the keys to cooking with a microwave. I'm just gonna try to break this up. All right, let's season it up real good. I'm gonna give it some salt. We'll hit it with some pepper and some cumin. Get some spice. You know what? Why don't we do cumin and some cayenne pepper? Yeah, I like that idea. Nice. Give that another little mix here. I'm gonna create a little hole. There's gonna be some water that pools for sure, so let's just create some pockets. Going in. All right, 5 minutes. Cool. Let's start prepping our other ingredients while this is going. Definitely want some lime wedges. Go 1, 2. Cilantro, done. All right, this is good. I like all the liquid that came out because now we are like braising the beef. So I'm breaking it up a little bit. But it's drying out in some areas, so I think we should add a little more liquid. We've got this enchilada sauce, so perfect time to start using it. All right, this is great. This is like halfway cooked, and my kitchen is no hotter than we started. I'm gonna go 3 minutes. Cheese, gotta put the cheese. So let's grate the cheese now, all right? Adding the enchilada sauce was definitely a smart move. Let's make this happen. I got a plate, tortilla, grab some beef, put it in a nice line like this. Got some onion and tomato, and I'll put 1 jalapeno right in the middle. So there we are. We have 1 rolled up, all right? Got beef, tomatoes come in, a little bit of onion, jalapenos, roll that up nice and tight. Cheese, sauce, and more cheese. A lot more cheese. Excellent. Let's get this in. You know, sometimes I want to have a hearty meal on a hot day, but I don't want to heat up the kitchen. The microwave is the perfect solution for this quandary. Yes, this looks very good. I'm super into it. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hit it with a couple dollops of sour cream on top like that. Then just hit it with some cilantro all around like this. And I'm gonna serve this with a lime, but I'm also gonna squeeze some lime over top. Gotta get some brightness on there. So looking at this right here, I mean, the first thing I notice is we have inconsistently melted cheese, thanks to the microwave. And there's liquids kind of coming out everywhere. So it looks a little extra sloppy, but it does look appetizing. And for that, I give it a 7.5 on looks. Now we have to taste it. I'm gonna come right into the middle, right where that jalapeno is. All the flavors that I expect to be there are there. The only thing that's missing is the texture of the tortilla being baked. Really, that's it. It's spicy, it's meaty, it's juicy, got the cooling sour cream. I'm just missing a little more texture from that tortilla. I don't even mind the mismelted cheese, Honestly, it's a 9.5 on flavor. 9.5 plus 7.5, 17, which is an 85, which is a solid B. This is a great combination of ingredients. Forget the fact that it's made in a microwave. Flavors are great. But there's no shame in not wanting to heat up your whole kitchen on a super hot day, so turn to the power of the microwave. Thank you for this challenge. And now I gotta eat my enchiladas. We're gonna make a really special treat that's gonna help us get through these super hot summer days. Watermelon Granita. Granita is a fantastic ice cream-like treat that requires no special ice cream equipment to make. So we're gonna start off with a watermelon. It's really simple. We cut it in half. I like to use the bite and slam technique. Granita is just a catch-all term for this style of dessert. You could use whatever fruit you've got. Strawberries, raspberries, lemon, they'd all be great. So we're just gonna take the skin off our watermelon here. All right, so just wanna cut up the watermelon pretty small so that when we put it into the blender, the blades catch those small pieces, and then it starts creating a vortex that pulls the other ingredients in. We're out of space in our blender, so let's blend this down to the liquid state, reduce the volume. Here we go. We gotta make some space in our blender, so let's pour this first batch of watermelon out. All we need is a pretty wide, flat pan. We don't wanna make a big block of ice. We want something that's really no higher than an inch of liquid. I'm gonna strain out the pulp. Give it a little help with a wooden spoon. If you use a really, really deep container, it's gonna be almost impossible to get a slushy-like texture. That's why I'm using this baking tin. Coming in with the rest of our watermelon. To get even more tang, we're gonna add 4 limes. And we're gonna get all the zest of these limes too, because it means even more flavor. Lime, sugar, frozen ice, yum. There's something about limes in frozen desserts that just screams, it's summertime. That's gonna go in. Let's have our limes, and we'll squeeze their juice. Okay, we've got our lime zest, we've got our lime juice, we've got our watermelon. We gotta add sugar. Not because this is a special treat and you gotta have sweetness, but because sugar lowers the freezing point of the liquid, which gives us that flaky and slushy-like texture. All right, we're gonna throw our top on. So, coming through our strainer once again. Basically, Granita turns out to be sort of like a shaved ice situation. And we put it in the freezer, but we have to maintain it. So every half hour or so, we're gonna go in there with our fork and scrape it. And that's gonna create these air pockets between the frozen crystals. And at the end, you end up with this really slushy-like dessert. Plus, it's a great excuse to cool down in the freezer. To the freezer! Clear some space in the freezer before you go there with this. All right, we've got Granita in the liquid state. We're gonna come check on this in about a half hour. It's so nice and cool in here. All right, so it's like semi-frozen right now, but so we don't get a whole block, what we wanna do is start basically scraping this up with our fork a little bit. Yeah, there we go. This is gonna take 3 hours to freeze, but I'm gonna scrape it every half hour or so it doesn't form a solid block. It's really turning into a Granita. I'm gonna keep checking on it every half hour till there's no more liquid in the pan. Our Granita's done. We've got these gorgeous ice crystals. There's no more liquid. I'm gonna be able to just eat this up with a spoon. Mamma mia! We checked on our Granita every 30 minutes for about 4 hours, and look at this final texture we've got. It's incredible. It's soft like the snow. This is just summer treat heaven. So we've got little containers. Once the texture's like this, it can hold for hours in the freezer. It's not gonna form into a solid block. So it's really just during that initial freeze. And you could definitely create all your little individual servings and store them in the freezer till you're ready to go. That's it. This looks fantastic. It reminds me of when I was a little kid. I used to get the Italian ices on the corner. Comes to $1.39 a serving. Let's dig in and get refreshed. Here we go. Oh, brain fish. Delicious. I mean, this is perfection. It's so refreshing. I love the color. It's zesty from that lime, and sugar makes it feel like a special treat. It's super easy to make at home because all you need is a freezer and a fork. And it's extra cute in a little container like this. Today we made a whole bunch of recipes that didn't add any heat to the already very hot situation inside. The blender was our best friend. We made dishes that were nourishing and delicious, and they even cooled us down a bit. I'm feeling cool, and I hope you stay cool too. Welcome to Frankie's Corner, where I answer your questions. What are some things that most of us have around the house that we can use as popsicle molds? Anything with a divot. So I'm thinking a muffin tin, you put some kind of a liner in there. Admittedly, these will be short and squatty popsicles, but it's a popsicle. You could certainly try and go for an ice tray, that would work really well, or paper cups. Those work great too.